Alright, Samsung did some weird deal with Pokemon because we're getting more reprints of 151. I thought that this was possibly a joke, but I actually know someone who kind of confirmed this. So I'm guessing that it's probably true. I'm seeing this from two sources. This 10 pack of 151 made to drop in Samsung. Samsung just released a 4 pack. I don't really get what's going on. But yeah, this one is from Sleeved Discord. Actually, I partnered with Sleeved to do some shoutouts back in the day, so I'm glad they're doing well. And then here is Pokemon Restocks. They also have a listing over here. So I think it's real. But yeah, we'll kind of see the news of that. This one says they're dropping as early as I think November 18th. Yeah, expected to drop off November 18th. So this is doing pretty well. Since I was here, I was like, oh, I got a notification on my Twitter. I don't really use this very much, but I appreciate anyone who could like join it. Maybe I'll post a little more. I haven't admittedly posted anything since July because I'm really bad at social media. But yeah, I have the subscribe thing at the bottom. But yeah, feel free to please click on social media links, subscribe to anything that could help me out. Really appreciate it. And then for the four packs are still selling around the same price, roughly like $100+, just a little more above 100. Like a lot of them are around 110. It's kind of what they're selling for about online. You see some 120 sometimes. Promos, I think you're still seeing some sales. Actually, I haven't seen a promo sale since November 2nd, so these have slowed down a little bit. But you're seeing people are still buying up these mini tin display or these mini tins for these 4 packs. And yeah, we're getting more reprints. I think it's really good time to pick up 151. Don't necessarily like. I'm hoping it drops down. I think it's gonna drop down probably like $10 to $12 a pack. For after all these reprints, for at least these things. So if you want just a cheap pack price, like yeah, this is probably one of your last chances. They're doing a bunch of 151 mini tins, and yeah, whatever you do with them, like if you can't store them, just open up the tins and keep the pack somewhere. Like really, 151 is only going to be so cheap for so long. And then there's aftermarket activity, and a lot of times this happens around the same time we get reprints. There's aftermarket activity, but the PCTB, the big item for kind of the era, like this is one of the biggest sealed items of the era, especially the mobile market, the 151 PCTB. Said before, it's like the best sets with like one of the most hyped products, but you see a spike for so yesterday. This has not been selling well before that. But you definitely see a spike even on the three-month graph. And let's see how much people bought it for. They bought a bunch of the ones. What's really important here is that they bought a lot of the ones in the 940 to 950 range. Just to because that clears out some of the supply, because it's been in this range for a while. There's still plenty available, but people being willing to pay these prices, like there's gonna be more people willing to pay them, and so we might finally see the rise go up to like if this goes up to like 1,000 or 1,100, people are gonna be like really like they're gonna get FOMO or be like, oh, I missed out, just because like yeah, like these have been sitting around 950 for like the longest time. Anyone can get it. And then the ETBs, the normal ETBs also have been getting some more demand. You see 2 or 3 sold last couple of days. For it wasn't selling much, so there's like an ETB sort of extra demand right now. Price is still around $400 though. And then booster bundles around $98, sold 22 yesterday, and they trailed back a little bit, but they're still mostly around the $100 mark. UPCs sold 0 yesterday, and there's only one of these around $590. Then it goes back to $600, so there's a cheaper one available over here for packs. So not a lot of pack demand. Really doesn't make sense to buy a lot of packs. There's cheaper options. Especially with the pack price be really high for 151. But yeah, I still see the pack price is mostly around 1620, so it's kind of maintaining its pack price more or less, which is pretty good for 151. For mains and displays, I usually don't go over these as much anymore, but they finally sold another one. So I think it sold for about like the listed price about 304, 305. So that's about 1520 a pack. Like that's almost the same price as Bling Wars. That's crazy because Bling Waters is going to be treated as like just a collection box, versus maintenance displays are actually something worth sealed. So someone finally bought into it. It's down about $3 still. UPCs are down 5, and then bundles are up about $2 from yesterday. And the last thing, Bling Waters saw 4 so yesterday, so demand's kind of rising for that. We're still not seeing a huge price rise or anything. But it makes sense because we're getting reprints, so why would it rise? Like Bling Wars is mostly bought just as a like sure, in 10 years from now it'd be really cool to see Bling Wars open like a bunch of 151 packs. Other than that, it just takes up space. People don't like them as investments. All right, for Destined Rivals, I have 2 things to say. First of all, Cases are still going down, so we're still waiting for the point where it's our buy opportunity. Two, more importantly, who are the stupid people buying this listing over here? Um, I keep seeing for cases these picture listings being sold. Like there's been no sales for like seal case since October 29th. But I keep seeing like Destined Rivals unsealed booster box case 2350 sold. It sold like one on the November 1st. It sold one yesterday. Like who keeps buying these? At 2350, that is, you know, like it's still like just barely more expensive than a loose box. So I kind of get it, but I guess if you actually get open case, sure. But I'm sure a lot of people, they're not necessarily gonna give you open case like the actual like casing. They'll just give you like 6 loose boxes. But you're paying like $11 more per booster box. You're paying $66 more in general for no reason. Yeah, I just want who are the stupid people buying these? I have a feeling it's gonna be like cancellation orders. I know this one over here has this picture. It says open case individually sealed boxes. Like open case, hopefully that comes up a case. I kind of doubt it does. Otherwise, these are still around 2,500. These kind of refuse to drop too hard. I said before, like 2,400 is probably the magic number where it's a guaranteed to have people buying. But we're dropping slowly. We dropped $10 yesterday, $10 the day before that, about eight before that. So we're dropping about roughly $10 a day last couple of days. It's at 416 a booster box, not too bad, I guess. Versus the normal boxes went up about $5. PCCVs are down about two, but yeah. Some people don't read the fine print or they have misconceptions. Um, it's just gonna waste a lot of people's time if they cancel the order. And then so 10 booster boxes yesterday. So we're kind of just maintaining around 10 boxes a day. I guess it's all right considering there's a slowdown in the market for certain things. Um, and then for PCTBs, sold one yesterday. There's a cheap one over here for about 345. Otherwise, most prices around 350 for booster for ETBs. I really want someone just to buy this because it's really annoying. But I didn't know yesterday. Yeah, there's some more ETBs around like under 120 now. So this might be starting to shift down. Like even though this has been 112 technically, it like there were a lot of listings in the 120s after that. Sold two yesterday, five today, and then for booster bundles, they're at $61, still doing fine. Demand's going up a little bit, 16, and um these are heading to $52, $62. So these are getting more expensive. People really like Destined Rivals. All right, conflicting Mega Evolutions data. So a lot of the prices for Mega Evolutions are still dropping, except for the major one, the cases. So you see booster boxes, the normal ones have dropped down to about 248 to 250. And then the cases went back up to about 248. They're up about $14. But yeah, $14.92 a case, about 250 for a single booster box, and I think that we're really reaching the point, if not already, that these have kind of bottomed out. Barring like a bear market, which Rudy mentioned, like we are seeing weaknesses in Pokemon, and we might be entering a bear market. But Mega Evolution is still selling about 100 boxes per day if you add up all the listings, so still doing pretty well. And when I look at the case listings, you see like there's a cheaper one around just under like around 1490, and then you see a couple around 1500, and it does go up to 1550. So at some points we are going to see a case premium, but I'm not exactly sure when. If we're returning back to old market cycles, like before all these bull runs, and it takes a while. But right now, Mega Evolution is still selling pretty well. It's quite cheap right now, especially compared to before. It's about $7 a pack, just under $7 a pack. So really, a lot of people can open it if they want it. Also, deal alerts. If you want a really cheap Mega, I'm actually tempted to buy this too. But $200, $49 shipping for 5. That's basically $210 a Mega Evolutions box. Way cheaper. Even if you pay tax or whatever, still getting a really good deal Mega Evolution. So anyone who sees this, deal alert for it's a really good price. It is 0% feedback, so you're taking a risk. But other than that, like I think the person just didn't really realize the shipping thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel, to be honest. And so yeah, the booster boxes are down about $10 roughly. PCTBs also took quite a hit. They're going down to the 200. So Lucario down 11, a Gardevoir down 15. It's at like 207 and 200 for the two ETBs. Normally ETBs keep flip flopping. They're still in the 80s, just barely. Gardevoir is at 85, and I think I keep mixing these up, to be honest. This is probably the 84, 88s, and I should just switch these around. 84, 81, 86, and then 84, 88. Yeah, I need to switch the order. But yeah, you're seeing the Lucario one keeps dropping, so down to about 85 now versus the Gardevoir one is kind of around the same as yesterday. And then bundles are actually rising for some reason. They're going back up to $50. Not exactly sure why. It's way too expensive for a bundle. But they are rising. I think a lot of people really do want to open the set. Maybe they can't get booster boxes, but yeah, bundles have always had a sort of premium for PC to be demand. Yeah, you see like no one bought any yesterday for Lucario, for Gardevoir. No one buying for Gardevoir either. For Lucario normal ETBs, 23 is kind of normal for demand. Uh, Gardevoir 85. Actually, no, that's 3 months. Gardevoir only sold 20, but the normal ETB demand's kind of level, but PCTB has been kind of iffy. And then for yeah, the booster bundles, similar. I saw the same thing with Phantasmal Flames. Booster bundles are selling really, really well, for some reason. And then this is other case listing, and yeah, no one's buying the really expensive case anymore. I want to just look at the bundle prices. Are these going up? They could rise like 51 or something. So really impressive considering they're so much more expensive than the boxes. All right, Phantasmal Flames is stagnating a little bit, but overall it's still pretty good as far as demand and prices go. So the main drop today is the normally to be, which dropped to 125. These were at like 175, I think initially, and these are down $6. You look at the graph over here, 1 month they were like 160. So it's down about $35, and the high was sort of like 175 on TG Player for these. These are expected to go down. I know the arts nights and everything, but they print ETBs all the time, and no ETBs like really staying above like $100 or anything for like pretty much for most of this. Destined Rivals is like 100, like 110, 120. But that's kind of the exception, not the norm. And then for booster boxes, yeah, I said there's a little bit of slowdown. So we were selling about 100 boxes a day. Now we're down to 76. I've said it before in the past that we can get to like multiple hundred, like at least 100 boxes per day. It's pretty good. When it drops after that, it's not the best sign, but still pretty early in release. And there's already 52 sold yesterday. Cases are still selling pretty well. You see, three sold yesterday, three sold today. You're still selling like pretty much three to five cases every day for our last 5 days. So that's pretty good. Three already sold today. And then the bundles have a spike though, 60 sold. So a lot of this is from a lot of people who don't really understand Pokemon. They just want to buy before maybe it goes up. But it's really too premature to buy. But people like to open these, so that's kind of a factor. And for the PCTBs, still selling well, similar to I think the cases. They're selling like 3 to 5 the last 5 days, except for this one day. So PCTB is definitely having a little more attention now. I still think 535 is way too much, but we'll kind of see. It is long term; it'll do great just because of the art. I think the promo is kind of iffy, but other than that, like it is one of the most beautiful like PCTBs. All right, who's ready for the Crown Zenith price rise? So I mentioned this yesterday as well. Crown Zenith, pack demand's been going up a lot. You just see from the 1 month graph, very clear, very not a lot of activity. Around October 16th to October 26th, the 10-day period, it's been rising more. Yesterday I actually sold about I think 74 packs. You see 32 here, but there's a seller. They have a pretty interesting listing. Like, you get a free gift if you buy 24 or something. And yeah, there's some picture listings being sold, but yeah, this is 18 packs plus 12 plus 12. It's another 42 packs on top of this, so that's about 74 packs. And yeah, I put the price as 14.50, so up 50 cents. Before that, there's only 20 packs at $14. After these 100 packs, it goes to $15 a pack. There's some good deals sometimes, like this one over here. It's actually really cheap, because if you buy all these, like it's $13. Pretty much $13. The shipping is very negligible, so you get some cheap Crown Zenith packs before it rises. Otherwise, we're seeing like $16 start to appear after this pretty soon. So yeah, I think all of a sudden we'll see Crown Zenith get pretty expensive. Like, it's not like we're getting reprints of this or anything. It's already like out of rotation. It's been out of rotation for quite a while now. Sea and Sky not seeing much sales. 0 sold yesterday, 1 sold today. JM Sneakers increased their listing, so JM Sneakers doing us dirty here, increasing the amount they have to 10. So it just means that Sea and Sky will be cheap once the pack price goes up, but hopefully someone just buys it all up. For ETBs, none has sold in November. It's been a really bad month for ETBs. They're just under $200. But the PCTB finally sold. One sold yesterday. It didn't have a sale since October 27th. That's like, I don't know, roughly like a little over a week. But still around 440. And booster bundles, yeah, they've been pretty slow lately. No sales since October 30th. So it's ETBs and bundles. The expensive items for Crown Zenith haven't been doing well, but packs is where people are putting their money in right now. All right, you're seeing some more ETB demand for Paldean Fates. So you see the last couple of days, the ETBs have been dropping, but it's 3 sold yesterday, 3 sold the day before. People are taking advantage of this dip. A lot of the prices are around 260. Really not that bad of a drop compared to what the PCTB did. The PCTB just went down so much before, but it's down 60 for the month. PCTB sold one yesterday after having a spike of 4 the day before. That was the most sold the whole month. They're still just under 420. For bundles sold 8 yesterday, and we're still not quite $100. I'm like getting a little impatient here, but yeah, we're still seeing just under $100 for a bundle. For packs sold not as much. Only sold like 3 packs yesterday. Seeing if there's any other listings. Pack price is still really high, like it's pretty much 1560 for the most part. This one's a little cheaper because of shipping costs and whatever, but yeah, pack prices are holding up really well. And then bundle displays had the biggest drop. I think they're down about $6 to 1120. Not quite at the point where they, I think at 1070 people bought a lot, so people still haven't dropped it that much. I think they will eventually, just as there's more downward pressure. And then, the bundles, they go down $3 and the ETBs are down $2. All right, it's 151 all over again. So as I said before, Prismatic follows a lot of the same patterns as 151. It's just a different timeline. And I only see this because I was literally tracking this every day for like ever since release. And 151 to, no, not since release, but around the same time period as I was tracking Prismatic. And you're seeing like most days sell at least 100 packs, some days 200. Yesterday sold about 118 packs, I think, if you add it all up, because you have to add the picture listings. And I mentioned yesterday how, hey, Prismatic packs are rising. They were like 910 yesterday, goes to 932. Part of the reason for that is that there is this really cheap seller listing about like a few hundred packs. And I think it's the same one because I remember this 98% feedback, and they were listing for 910 and they increased their price to 944. So that's where a lot of the prices went. A lot of the packs went. I was hoping I'd see like a huge sale of like all 300 or all 200 packs. But I didn't see that. They just moved their listings, and you're seeing it. Most of the sellers are in the 930s now. Like we're back at $9 a pack. Like Prismatic packs went down to like what, like $8, $8.50, and now they're right back to like 930. And I said before, based on 151 data, the Lucario boxes usually lag behind at most about $1. Once Prismatic gets to $10, like it's kind of unavoidable for Lucario boxes to go like not go up to $9 at least. And unless obviously sometimes if there's a huge restock or reprint, it will affect the price temporarily. But like there's gonna be temporary times when the Lucario box does surge up quite a bit, like Blooming has done in the past. And eventually, once Prismatic goes out of prints and stuff, or it gets close, like it'll just take off like 151 did. But yeah, we're already seeing extra Lucario demand and prices start to rise. So 26 sold yesterday. It's been selling like 3 or 5 per day. So it's like 5 times the number sold. We haven't seen like anywhere close to this since October 12th. It's been about like 3 weeks or so since then. And this price, the price of this has been around 117, 118. We're heading back to 120. We haven't really been able to break 120, but at this rate we'll get there. Like a lot of people like to buy out the packs for reprints and stuff, but eventually like that's gonna cost so much more. Like they will like just buy these and break them down. For the ETBs sold 92 yesterday, so demand spiked for that. I'm still seeing most of the bundles around $60. For ETBs, they're still around 130. Unfortunately, demand kind of halved down to about 11. For PC ETBs, they're around 352, 0 so yesterday, so demand's kind of falling for these a little bit. And then the EV promos for the ETBs, they're doing all right. They're selling about 50 per day last couple of days. They're around $9 or like 950-ish. And yeah, the main price changes, bundles are back up $3. Super premium, oh, I think I skipped that actually. So because I skipped around. Super premium is kind of a big thing right now. It's dropped quite a bit, still dropping. So it was up to 325, and now it's at 275. And there's quite a few sellers around that price point. So it's not just one seller. So this has dropped quite a bit. I think there's some rumors circulating around. I want to like find a source for that, for like some SPC reprints. Let me know if you like see that, but I haven't googled it yet. So, but yeah, this is down quite a bit, down 15. If this gets down like really cheap, like it's a really good pickup. Because I said before, these sort of specialty set, really good specialty sets, UPCs, hopefully decent promos or something in it. They do really well. So celebrations, 151, and Prismatic all come to mind. And versus other things like a lot of other UPCs are kind of more lagging. I'm not sure how the Mega Charizard UPC will do. A lot of people don't realize that like it's not all Phantasmal Flames or whatever. Like the packs are alright, but I don't like the mixed packs UPCs. It just makes it more complicated. And the card box, yeah, they are up $1 over here. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.